let all you lovely people into a little secret tip. Don't be telling that Jamie though. So when you get to your swim, you've got like your bomb set up, you've got it all ready to go. What I tend to do is have a cast around just while I'm getting my up limits and my bait sorted. So I've been casting around, you know, start off in front of me, then work left and right. And what I'm doing is looking for line bites. Obviously signs of fish in that. It's flat calm at the minute, but I've located a shoaler fish right in front of me. So what I've done, when the tip's been doing that, I've clipped up so I know that first cast I should be there or thereabouts on fish. If I'm not, I'm still getting liners, but I'm not getting any bites. All I know to do, I know I'm in the right area, is just keep winding it back until eventually it goes round. It's just a quick tip, something I've always done, certainly on carp waters. Have a cast around your swim, just with a little bomb, obviously know what length on, and just see where you're getting the bites. Always thinking, aren't I? Right, coming to the main business end here. So, pellet comb. There's pellet cones that you can buy, but my personal favourites is just like, you know, the old style pole bungs before all like puller kits were invented. All I've done there is I've just chopped 2 in half. So I've got like a little baby one for sort of like, you know, your proper winter fishing, and I've got one a little bit bigger for, you know, sort of like now when the fish are beginning to have a little bit of a feed, when it starts coming a little bit warmer. You've seen the breakdown rates, and that's the beauty of this. I could really compress it so it breaks down a little bit slower if I was casting in, oh, just see the fish, if I was casting in deeper water, or I could just sort of like, just give it a little bit of a squeeze, which is probably what I'll do with this one because I want it to break up fairly quickly. I'm only casting in roughly sort of 3 foot of water. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to plug it like a feeder. You get in on that, Rich. I'm just going to plug it like a feeder and just give it a light squeeze. That's it. That's all I want to do. And then we get our up length. Corn's already on. As I say, experiment. I've got all these like washes here and what have you. I can experiment with them throughout the day, but I always like to start off on corn. Again, it comes down to confidence. Now it's very important when you're putting the pellet cone on that you use a baiting needle that's got a little catch at the end. You know, you can have that little gate in it, or this has got like a little tiny barb at the end. That's very important, obviously, to catch your hook length loop. Now there's a fat end and a thin end on the pellet cone. I want to go through the thin end. I'll tell you why in a sec. So right through the middle of that, push that through. So you get your loop of your line over the baiting needle, so it lands under that spike, and then you pull that over. That goes down to your corn, and now this is the reason I'll always push it through the thin end so that I can push that out. Now that, obviously you can imagine that, as it's lying on the bottom, it's eventually going to break down into roughly the size of like a 50p piece. Now that for me is ultimate presentation for this time of year. So I'm going to attach it to my rod. I'll show you that. So we open the little sort of rubber grommet on the swivel, get our hook length with the pellet cone on. That simply attaches on there, close the rubber grommet over the top, and you're in business. You're ready to go. And obviously the beauty of it, obviously you've got that, it's completely tangle proof, you're not going to get any tangles whatsoever, as long as you feather it right. I mean, I've got this clipped up, but you know, if you're not getting lines or anything like that, you might want to cast around, then don't use your line clip. But what you must do is feather it so that as it enters the water, it's going down on that angle. What you don't want, obviously, is that there, because you could get a fish, take that bait, but it's not going to register. So it needs to be nice and tight. The old Tommy Pickering saying, don't move your feeder, that's like, it's so true in this case as well, because obviously as soon as you start moving that, it's going to be away from your feed. It's just a really effective way of fishing. You know, I can't stress it enough how important it is for like presentation's paramount. So I'm going to cast this in now to where I've had them liners, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to sink the line. I'm not going to sort of whip up the traditional way of sinking the line. I'm going to sink the rod and then just wind down ever so slowly until all that line's sunk, and then I'm going to bring the rod up just above the water, and I'm going to have a slight bend in it. Now casting wise, the frequency, we're not in summer yet, so obviously summer wise you're looking at casting sort of every 4 or 5 minutes something, but 3 or 4 casts an hour. What I've got a watch, so it's, what is it now, it's 11:30 now, so I'm going to chuck in at 11:30. If I'm not getting any signs whatsoever, I'll bring it out at sort of 15:15, 20 past, something like that. If I'm getting a few signs, then I might tend to leave it a little bit longer, but usually 3 or 4 casts an hour is about right. So that's me done. Let's go and get some fish caught. So as I say, I'm clipped up where I was getting them them liners. That's at the bottom. And what I'm going to do, you see, I'm not hardly winding whatsoever. Even though it's flat calm, that line will soon sink. Don't worry about, obviously, if the fish is straight on it, not seeing bites. Trust me, you'll know when there's one on. So I've not wound whatsoever yet. I'm just going to let the line do its job. That's it, so it's sunk. So, rod in place. I'm just going to tighten down a little bit. I don't want too much of a bend in that. Now again, another area where a lot of anglers go wrong, they'll start striking it like little tiny knocks and that. Trust me, when it's on, it's on. Now usually what you'll get with the pellet corn in particular is when the fish is around that bait, that little pile of bait, you get a few little taps, and then obviously fish fills you up and it's on. None of these sort of like long pulls or anything like that. It's usually a few little taps and then it's on. So the beauty of this style of fishing as well, whilst that's in place, what I can be doing is getting my other pellet cone ready, so that, you know, once I've wound a dirty great big carping on this one, I can be nice and quick and get this other hook length on. Now usually I've got sort of 3 or 4 of these on the go. I've got like a couple of corn ones, and I'll have like a washed one and maybe a pellet one. But obviously, you know, maggots will work in it as well, you know, a couple of dead maggots. It's just a really quick, efficient way of fishing. And obviously, you know, once sort of like your 15 or 20 minutes is past, nice and quick, take that other hook length off, put this one on, and away you go, you're in business again. So I'm going to do that one up, and I'm going to get another one out, I think, just so I've got a bit of variance. Because I'm all well prepared, I've even got one with, look at that, it's even got it on. Well prepared, haven't I? Prepared for everything, me, Rich, you know. That was from the other day. Some more fish left in this pellet yet, or this washter, should I say. Do another one up. So as I say, we're chucked in sort of 11:30, so I'm going to wait 15 to 20 minutes. Not had any signs again as yet, but you know, that's typical obviously from when you first cast in. Fish have got fins, so they'll swim around and everything, especially on days like this. But there's been the odd sign of fish as well, you know, sort of bow waving around. So what I don't want to do is stay sort of too stagnant. I want to, if I'm not getting any signs whatsoever after my second cast, I'll move around. I'll probably go more to my right because that's the way the wind's been going. And that's where I've seen, you know, sort of more signs of fish. So it makes sense to me to go to my right rather than sort of go to my left. So I've not seen anything that side whatsoever. So it's just a waiting game now. Yes! You get it? Oh, hang on. Are we on? Going? Well, just about to strip off, take my hoodie off, and it's gone round. Typical, as soon as you go to do something, all snarled up in a Hawaiian tropic on my head, and it flies round. So if you're getting a bit of a glare off my head, I do apologise, I've just taken my hat off. So that's our first chuck, Rich, or second? What were we on there? Second chuck, weren't we? So I left it 15 minutes, had a few signs in that, so I thought, oh, I'll have another chuck there. And then it's gone round, which is nice, it's what we want. So you see, when I'm playing the fish, I'm always keeping it low until I get it under the rod tip, and then I'll never go directly above them. I want to always keep angles on them and get them in like that. The other thing which is important as well, in fact there's a couple of things. So first things first, swing that fish into your lap. Now I'll always use, I'm proper old school, I'll always use back wind. That drag's set, just in case, you know, it lunges at the end, but I'll always use back wind. So what I need to do now is put the anti-reverse back on and tuck that rod under your leg so everything's nice and tight. If there's too much of a bend in your rod, just let a little bit of line out so it's not too tight. Now the reason for that is everything being nice and tight, obviously the tips are so fine, very prone to tangling, so keep that nice and tight. And the other thing as well is you'll notice that the actual mesh of the landing net is very fine. Now that's really important when you're using like the plastic spikes that I've got, because if it goes through like the bigger mesh of some landing nets, fish gives it one of them, it's going to snap off, so that's not what you want. Now that, if you look how that's up, Rich, you as a carp have got to be proud of that, mate, ain't you? Right in the bottom lip, that's where you want to hook them. And QM1s are not coming out of there, so it's a lovely F1, what, probably 12 ounce that, isn't it? Beautiful, look at him in that sunlight. not going to drop him in. Want to put all these bigger fish in with the net, so there's no disturbance whatsoever. Now this is what I was talking about now. So we've had that fish, everything's nice and tight, we don't have to do any tangles. Put that out length down, can pick another one up. I'm going to try one of them washters this time, little pellet washters, and then you're straight back in business again, nice and quick. So we'll catch another one, yeah! Might have a chance to take my hoodie off as well. Oh yeah! We're in again. So you see how I'm playing it, we're in again. I've still not had time to take my hoodie off. Just shows you, I mean what we're on now, we're on just coming up to 12 o'clock. That's 2 in 2 chucks, so obviously this is a proper carp this ain't no F1. It just shows you that sun is proper getting on that, well there's that bar where I'm chucking on, sort of like 20 metres. Be like 2.5, maybe 3 foot. It's wobbling off to my left here, Rich. And that's what it's getting on. Right there, Jay. Don't worry about me, mate, you know. So, see I'm keeping it low, that fish is coming towards me. Get ready with the net. And when it's under my feet, I'm going to lift that rod high. It's under my feet now, I'm going to start to lift it high, but always keep that angle in it. Oh, it's a big F1. Oh my word. Well, you can see why I thought that might have been a carp when it's shaking its head. That's a massive F1. Look at him. So again, anti-reverse on.
Shiny.
I'm so shiny. You've got that off my head, haven't you? Do apologise. Now let's get that out of the way so I can show you, lovely people, the size of this bad boy. Look at this for an F1. Look at that beauty. That's probably, definitely £3.5, probably getting on for £4, that bad boy. Thought it was a carp, there was a big wobbly carp. He's not even fitting out my landing, he's not even coming out my landing net. Oh, aye, a few of them would be nice. Have we had time to, yes, I've had time to do another one up. So what was that one on? That was on one of them washters. I think we'll have another go on one of them, Rich. What were we saying, mate? Look at me, I'm all shaking, I can't wait to get in. Can't wait to get in. This is nice. I didn't think we'd have a response like this early, but just goes to show the effectiveness of it. Let's have it again. Lovely, lovely quick fishing. Proper quick fishing, which is what we want. That last cast I had then, I thought I had one on the drop because it went a bit slack. So it must have just been hanging around it. And that's what I mean about, you know, not worrying, making sure you do all this right first, sinking the line, and not worrying, you know, whether you see a bite or not. Trust me, you know if there's one on. I'll proper rip it round. Oh, that's awesome. And if I'll have time to take my hoodie off. I might have to give you a go, Rich. I'll do the camera work while I can do some stripping, you know what I'm saying, mate? That line's sunk now. Let's get in ready, get in business, and let's get an upland done. Oh, there's one on that straight away then. Look at that tip go. Get it on that tip, Rich, that's going to go. That ain't going to last, mate. That is not going to last. Go on, get round. Get another one on quick. Again, the beauty of it as well is you can just experiment. So I've got a pink washer on that one. This is a yellow one I'm going to try next. It's just to see what works best on the day. He's on him. Yes! In again, haven't we, Rich? We're in again. So 3 casts, 3 fish. Can't ask for more than that. I think it's another F1. And carps will probably have it later on in the day. Okay, I've still not had time to take my hoodie off. Proper. Again, keep everything nice and low. And you're winding it back. I think it's a little baby one, this one. Come on this side. Might be a little stocky or something, this one, Rich. What's it going to be? What's Jay got? Is that your bait? Zoom in on Jay's bait, Rich. Oh, it's a little stocky. Yeah, we got a little proper carp. That was on. What was that one on? That was on the pink one. Listening to you there, you carper, isn't it, Rich? Rich says a pink one. Lovely little baby stocky.